Okay, hello everyone. First stream post ReaperCon. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. Hey, Paul GM, you made it. Awesome. Glad to see you here. And as you see tonight, we are painting dun 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 the Overgord. I've actually been looking forward to painting this one. Oh, well, thank you, Duke of Mink, for hosting my stream. So I noticed a few joints here that needed some putty. No, thank you for following, Haas. Oh yeah, I was super excited when they announced this. Uh, yeah, so obviously won't be painting the vines tonight since this putty is still very fresh. But that just means I can work on the pumpkins. Hello, Duke of Mink. Thanks for swinging by. As you can see, we out here. All right. Wonder where here is. But as you can see, going to be painting the Overgord tonight. So, without any... Oh, wait. Gotta get my paint shaker so I can stare awkwardly into the camera. Yep, or commonly known in the Reaper the Reaper Kickstarter, yes, the Reaper Kickstarter, as the Overgord. So, but yes, a jack-o'-lantern beholder. I fell in love with it just in the concept art, and yeah, I've been looking forward to painting this. So I figured it's about that time of year to start getting spoopy on stream. Alright, so I'm going to start with the base of Jakaro Orange. And let's just go ahead and grab the big brush to start out with. Get some on the palette. Away we go. Hope everyone's having a good evening, or in your case, Ball GM, a good morning. It's what, 5 o'clock in the morning there now? Something like that? $4:30. Damn. Well, I greatly appreciate you waking up to watch me slap paint on a miniature. Yep. Well, that's what kind of sucks when you stream late at night and a bunch of your fans or fans and friends are over in the UK and Europe. Just means a lot of them won't be there unless they wake up early in the morning. Yep. Oh, 12:30 p.m. Australia? Okay. Well, currently in my neck of the woods, it's 9:30 in the evening. Girls are all tucked into bed, so now it is time for Daddy to paint. Yep, painting minis. That's pretty much all I do on my streams is just paint, paint, paint. Whether it be... Usually I go between Reaper miniatures and painting Star Wars Legion minis. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's new to here. Feel free to at least give me a follow. And remember, it is September on Twitch. So subscriptions are, I think, 20% off right now. Hey, thanks, NetClout, for following me. See, okay, no problem. Don't sleep at all. Still excited about all the new stuff I can do on my stream. Had to get some sounds. Hey, alright. Well, thank you for the subscription. And an even better way with Prime. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Bald GM. God, you just throw those subs out left and right on everybody's stream. I appreciate it. Doesn't cheapen it at all. Hell, makes me feel even more special. Dang. And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have glued all of this together, but I really wanted to see what the entire Overgord looked like. Well, thank you so much for all the gift subscriptions there, Bald GM. One of these days when I have money, I'll have to do it on yours. Yes, everyone, thank the Bald GM for his generous donation. Yep, and sadly I don't have any emojis for when I do have subscribers yet. I'm working on that. So I will have something for people who do subscribe. It's just between getting ready to go to ReaperCon and a few things in my personal life. Hasn't been too great for that. But I'm still here painting minis, and that's the important thing. Unlock more slots based on how many subs you get. Maybe. I'm still fairly new to this whole affiliate thing myself, as I know the Bald GM is as well. Which, again, congratulations on getting that, man. Yep. Trying to be. And, of course, I have channel points for funny sounds and bits for even cooler sounds. So, just kind of throwing that out there. And, yeah, I'll just kind of keep selling myself a little bit here. I do have a Patreon page for these guys, for the Star Wars Legion minis that I paint. So, right now, I would only ship to people in the US, but I do have a just support tier that it's only $1, but if you want to donate, feel free to donate more, go ahead. And otherwise I have a Twitch, or yeah, obviously Twitch, I have a Twitter and a Facebook account if you want to follow me on there, though I'd say I'm probably the most active on Twitter. Not as active on Facebook, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. Yeah, got back late last night. Actually, close to about this time last night from ReaperCon. Well, thank you. I do try and do it with as much precision and care as I can. Not quite as much of a pro. Oh, this putty? Is that what you're asking about, Mogadit? Okay, what I did use is, where is it? Just Vallejo's plastic putty. Now, there's a different type that's more of a tube with a long, thin applicator to where it can get into the crevices, but it's very watery. I just it's very thin, and I just water it down a little bit and work it into the crevices so it still looks natural. This does shrink a little bit, but it still gets the job done. Right, the orange has a real orange purdy, has a nice base coat. Yeah. No, I tried it on the suggestion of my Goblin King, Michael Mordor. And yeah, I'm kicking myself for not getting the one that actually has the long applicator to put into crevices, because then I have to just use like just a putty tool like this and wet it down, work it into the crevices, and then yeah, then try and just wipe away any excess from there. Whereas it'd be nicer to just yes, moist. Yeah, I figured this would be a good orange because, yeah, Bald GM, I am kicking myself because at the special con booth at ReaperCon, they were already selling this year's Ghoulie bags, and in there was a pumpkin orange. Sadly, I was saving up my con currency so I could buy a hat for someone who I think he already pretty much knows that I bought him a hat, and then just getting some t-shirts and other things. So by the time I had spent what I wanted to spend to get what I wanted to get for other people, those were all gone already. Which in hindsight, I probably should have just gotten that for myself, and because I knew they weren't going to run out of hats and t-shirts. But I guess I just wanted to get it done and out of the way. Hey, Kiko, the trip was great. You know, like in most normal conventions where it's like, oh, hey, everyone's out there playing games, and then you see like 5 or 6 tables, maybe at most, or more like 2 or 3 of people just painting miniatures. Well, this was the exact opposite. Like in the main convention hall area, they had all these round tables, and all it was people set up around there painting miniatures and chatting and having a good time. And they had hobby hijinks where you could. I actually did some speed paints, which, if you want, I can show those on the stream now. Where you had. They basically gave everyone the same miniature, had the same paints and brushes at the table, and said, here you go, here's a primed miniature. You have 25 minutes to complete it. And sometimes the primer wasn't dry yet. So it was fun dealing with that too. But yes, as you can see, here is the ever vicious Overgord. Yeah, and yeah, Kiko, even my dad kind of got bit by the miniature painting bug and bought himself a starter paint kit from Reaper and a few miniatures and started painting there at the con. He's always kind of been interested in it, and he used to do it way back in the day with some dioramas based on around World War II, but now he's getting back into it proper. Yeah, it was a blast, Mogadit. And I do plan on going again. And, well, I got a few people on here too. I actually entered in a few of my pieces into their open painting competition. Now, before I say anything, they judge everyone, and like if you score high enough to get a bronze, you get a bronze. Or if you score high enough to get a silver medal, you get a silver. There's only like one best in show because that's picked by everyone else, but the judges just kind of have a score. Well, I put some stuff into the diorama division and into just the painting division, and I walked away with 2 bronzes. And then you were able to actually get feedback from some of the painters, and one of them is one of the head painters at Reaper, and she said, you're close to getting a silver, and I expect to see one from you next year, and proceeded to give me a few tips and pointers. So, which I'm glad I got a bronze on a piece that I didn't paint specifically for a competition piece. So that's kind of nice having that. Thanks. Yeah, that was Anne. That was Anne Forrester. And, oh, her other partner in crime. I forget his name. I think it starts with a D. I know, if Carol was here, she would be blowing a gasket that I don't remember painters' names, but I just don't. But he was the other judge. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I talked to my other one too. And yeah, just basically some highlights and adding definition and whatnot. And yeah, then they're just like, yeah, it would be close to getting a silver. Switch to a different brush. This one likes to splay out for some reason. Let's go with this one. But yeah, it was overall very much a good time. So I look forward to doing it again. And this time actually getting on I don't know, I got a fan blowing behind me. It'll dry it all off here soon. Yeah, some people do. Well, you know, granted, I live in an area that still has high humidity, so that's why some of these stay moist for a bit longer than they should. But they still actually dry fairly quick. Like, actually, most of the parts of the main pumpkin, I'll say, of the overgourd is mostly dry, and I'll hit it up with the second coat here tonight. Or I'll move down and hit all of these little pumpkins down here with a different color of orange, since they're not quite right, shall we say. I don't know, maybe I'll just go with all same base color, and then move up from there. Yeah, it was like a 109 heat index down in Texas, and then I don't know, we hit around the mid 90s Fahrenheit here today. So yeah, no, I am definitely stoked that I walked away with some medals, because otherwise after that it would have been just like a certificate of, you know, participation, just going, oh hey, there you go, you tried, and bless you for trying. Which, yeah, there were some in the participations that I would have at least given a bronze myself if I were the judge, but I'm not the judge, so they didn't get a bronze. Okay. What do you think? Should I paint all these pumpkins down here the same color, or go for a lighter orange on these little suckers down here? Probably should have glued him to a base, but hey, sticky tack will work for the time being. Till I decide what to do with the base on this thing. Let's see, lighter orange. There we go. Okay. Let's go with Fire Lizard. It's more of a yellow, so they're not quite ripe yet. Yeah, maybe I'll start with this Fire Lizard and then go to like a greenish tint. Well, and there's definitely going to be plenty of green in the vine here, too. But yes, a little bit of green on the unripe pumpkins will be good. I do like it, though sometimes you have to hold it there for quite a bit longer to get things mixed up. But it gets the job done, and if you hold it there long enough, it'll actually mix it up quite well. And mine is just the, let's see, what is it called? Inksaur? I don't know, something like that. It's not like the, oh, whatever the one. GM, do you remember what Michael's is called? Isn't it like a Vortex or something like that? But his does a really good job. But yeah, this one does pretty good. Really helps a lot. And then I have one that's actually like the old time paint mixers where you just strap it in and it shakes it back and forth. Which that's really good for the really stubborn pots. Just kind of strap it in, turn it on, and walk away. I'm definitely going to have to do a second coat of this. 4E's Vortex Shaker. Okay, that's what he's got. And mine's just like the Surefine version, or the $20 knockoff of that. Yeah, I did. Well, I kind of thought this through a little bit with a black base coat, but hey, that just means I'll have to do a few thin coats of yellow here. I almost think I see faces in some of these lower pumpkins. Yeah, I think the one that Michael got was around $100 US dollars. And he seems pretty pleased with it. But yeah, this one was like 20, 25-ish. You know, within the realm of me spending money on it and going, hey, if it doesn't work that great, I'm not out that much. Okay. Well, I appreciate the new viewers today. It's really kind of nice just having some people swing by and to chat with. I usually have a few people like Kiko, and I think Delayed Capture might be in here. She might just be lurking right now. Plus, who knows if her kids are asleep yet or not, so she might just be watching but not have the sound up right now. Oh, just able to get the sound up. All right. Hello, beautiful. It is, and if you learn anything from me, that's great. Or if you kind of combine some of the things I do with what you do already, that's great too. Or if it's just entertaining to watch some guy just bumble around painting miniatures too, that's great too. Okay, we'll let that yellow dry. We'll hit this guy up again with more of the Jacaro orange. Yeah, because as you can see now, all of this is now, well, mostly dry. Dry on the big pumpkin and dry on some of these. This one was a really thin coat, so it may take a little while for it to dry. So we'll just see where we get on a lot of this. Okay, sometimes it's not the journey, it's the friends we made along the way, right? And also, while stuff's drying, I can show off some of the speed paint stuff if you guys would be interested. Alright. I probably should be using one of my bigger brushes for doing this again, but oh yeah, and I didn't even really ask, but you guys don't seem to mind. I'm sure sound quality is fine, and I'm just loud enough and not echoing or sounding any weirder than I usually sound. Alright. Well, if I get the Kiko Walrus of approval because he hates seals, then that's all that matters. Wash out the brush so that way we're not getting too much paint into the flume. But yes, the whole con on at a whole was really good, really nice. Didn't get much of a chance to talk to many of the pro artists, which and Kiko, you used to play Darksiders, right? So one guy there did War, and you know what? I'm just gonna have to send that to my email so I can pull it up on stream for you guys because it's that good. So hold on. Let me. I know this will be really entertaining for a moment or two here. But yeah, there was a War diorama that is that damned good that I need to I need to share it. So. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. Do 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 do. Soon as you get my email. Plus, this gives the paint a chance to dry a little bit. See? See? Yeah? Yeah? You're a crafty consumer, Zoidberg. Let's just download. Okay, so just zoom in a little bit. And yes, this is the war diorama that he had. And all of this metal on here is non-metallic metal. And then, yeah, the glow effect from the lava there. Yeah. Yes, and he even has ember. It looks like embers, like in the background, are over his armor, as well. Yeah. And this did not win Best in Show either. Just for a point of reference, with just how good this thing even looks here, with all the non-metallic metal, the flame effect, this still did not win Best in Show. It was actually a Joan of Arc bust that had a free-handed banner on it that was just and all the non-metallic metal and just the flesh tones on it were perfect. But again, like, yeah, the picture doesn't do this thing justice at all. So, enough about that. Let's go back to me just slapping paint on here. Which, yeah, that was the guy that was, he did the non-metallic metal class that I wanted to sign up for, but missed the sign up for. So, better luck next year. Yeah, the embers in the background were a stroke. Matching what was in the background was just tied it in with its own background. Which someone tried to say all of the orange and lava was out of place, and I'm just like, well, if you've played the games, that is not out of place at all. That is actually 100 in place for the source material. But hey, someday I'll get there. Someday I'll have the patience to do something like that. Yeah, I heard the other ones were decent. I just never have gotten around to play them yet. You know what? To be honest, it kind of makes me want to play them again too. Yeah, when I interrupt my own stream to show off someone else's work, you know I think it's damn impressive. Let's see, I'm getting into that area where I might be hitting stuff that's still moist. So I might have to...
Moist.
Thank you, Ball GM. I knew I could count on either you or Kiko, or maybe even Delay Capture to play it. Yeah, some of these pumpkins would have probably been easier to paint not attached. But where's a good challenge there? At least I know which way they'll be facing to, so that way I can do... I'll try a few other little tricks here with this, putting more highlights on the top. Oh, hey, and I missed a complete part on one little gourd eye. Knockout, hack and slash game series. Yeah. Kind of in the vein of God of War, which, oh my god, that's like... It's the reason I keep sticking with PlayStation myself, is because they keep coming out with new God of War games. Which I've beaten 4, but I did not... I beat all of the Valkyries except for the Queen. And it was turning into one of those where I had to just walk away because it was pissing me off that much that I didn't want to break a controller, and I didn't want to be... I wanted to relax while I was playing games. I didn't want to get mad too much. So I just kind of walked away for a little bit. And yeah, all of that yellow down there, that is definitely not dry at all. So once I get done with these final 2 pumpkins, I'll get some of my speed paints. Hey, Prime, Delay Capture, want to deal with that one? Want to give him a ban? But hey, my first bot ever. I know, I know. I'm somebody now. Thank you. Okay, now all that stuff is drying, I will go and get my, some of the speed paints I did. And, yeah, I may show up a few other things I got at Replicon. him over there. Okay. Wow. I don't know. It must be the time that I stream, actually, Ball GM. So, here's one of the first speed paints that I did. Nice little wizard. Did a wet blend on the book. Even added some. And yeah, one guy was just like, oh yeah, he's going to go for a galaxy effect. And I'm just like, well, I wasn't, but now I am. So, not too bad for one of my first speed paints. Not spectacular. Didn't win. Yeah, because each of them got judged at the end too. But then, yeah, didn't win anything in any of the speed paint competitions. But hey, I was learning how to speed paint still because that is something that I do not do well. Yeah, I loved it too. Started to turn out pretty good. And then for one of the Sophie After Darks, they gave us a Chibi Sophie. Yeah, speed paint is a real skill. Michael has developed as well. Yeah, you see, look, I even gave her a little red thong. So you see some of her butt. Yeah, and then they wanted a beauty mark, and yeah, just trying to do chibi eyes was not great. And then I was just farting around with this dwarf. Well, I mean, you know, with all of these minis, they're actually kind of meant for Dungeons and Dragons games. And I know I had one more. Let me see if it's in my bag or not. Or did he not make the trip home, sadly? He get left somewhere. Oh well. It was another chibi with a flaming sword effect that, you know, wasn't too ashamed of. So. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and slap a little bit more on there. Well, hey, if I inspire you to play D&D or paint miniatures or do all of that, that's great. Alright, and actually this is kind of going on fairly easy so far. You know what? We might try a little something here. So granted, these guys look kind of bumpy and lumpy. So that will make it pretty good for kind of doing... Okay, usually unripe pumpkins, they're kind of a lightish, weirdish green, which I'm trying to find. Yeah, trying to figure out what green I should use for a wet blend here. Yeah, I'll get that later. All right, let's go with this one. Usually really dark, but they're kind of like yellow on the inside of the ribs. So I'm going to go with this Elysium green. And, well, actually, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do something with this trio here. No, you know what? I'm just going to go with Muddy Olive, actually. Okay. Oh, and I gotta say, it is so nice not wearing a mask while painting now because they wanted masks all the time down there, which is totally fine. I totally get it. But yeah, because at my job I work alone a lot, so I didn't have to wear a mask much during the height of the pandemic. Okay, yeah, that's looking pretty decent right there. Then I can go back with the original olive color. So right now this will just blend with the yellow a little bit, like it would normally. Leave these little yellowish pock marks over there because I'm just doing a light brush with the green. Thank you. Because, yeah, as I remember seeing the pumpkins ripe in Dad's field, there was a lot of, like, yeah, they were kind of greenish yellow, and then they would kind of turn to this, yeah, that orange color that you normally associate with pumpkins. Work, we need to wear a mask because we cannot keep 6 foot distance. Most people on production lines work almost back to back. Yeah, and I work in construction, but I'm on a survey crew, and granted, they kind of left it up to us, but like on the survey crew, it's just like we're in a truck together. There's no way we can keep 6 feet distance, and we see each other more than our families. So we're just like, well, you're just part of the inner circle. So rather than just wear a mask all the time, and even then, only had like 1 or 2 scares because it was just us, and even then, that came from my coworker's family. But luckily, well, he got COVID, but I never did. But otherwise, I played it pretty dang safe the entire time. Okay, yeah, I think you would wear it just to be like a ninja. Or like I could maybe rob the place and just get away with it. Yeah, I kind of thought about that too every now and then. Just like, man, if I really wanted to. Okay, well that's drying still a little bit. We'll go back over with a little bit more of the green just to make them look like festive unripe gourds. Not chosen by the overgourd, but he can rise from its gourdy fieldiness of doom. Ah, yes, the fun of wet blending. Oh yeah, Kiko, Dad and I rented a car to drive down to Denton, Texas, because that's where the convention was, and we actually listened to Neil Gaiman's the Norse mythology audiobook on the way down, which that was a lot of fun actually. I had never actually finished that audiobook, so it was cool hearing the ends of some of the legends and like of Ragnarok and stuff like that. Plus, I gotta say, Neil Gaiman did a pretty dang good job of narrating his own book. Especially, it's kind of nice having a foreword from that the author did, but it's still from the author. Yeah. Okay. And then, then we listened to an orc audiobook on 40K called Brutal Cunning, which I I had to translate some of the orc for Dad while we were driving because he didn't really understand them too much. Talking like an orc is fun though from 40K, especially from 40K. Last one to the gubbins, mucks the squig pen. Actually, I'll probably make these stems a little bit of a darker green, but I'm pretty happy with where these other little base gourds are looking right now. What's the best place to go after the Space Wolf novels? Well, okay, actually, I would say another good place to go after the Space Wolf novels is go to Gaunt's Ghosts. Granted, it's not done yet, but it's been going on for a very long time. And that gives a good overall picture of the Imperium, and plus, who doesn't want to read about Scottish ninja assassins in the Imperial Guard? But then from there, also, which I know I just gave you like a 16 plus book reading list, but honestly, after the first two, or after the first three omnibuses, which is like 9 books, you can kind of take a break from there, because it's still going, and you're kind of into present day time. Then after that, I don't know, you want to read more Space Marine stuff, or you want to read more other stuff? Not the recent ones, but I did, well, read is the relative term for it. I listened to the Devastation of Baal. And a bunch of the other newer Dark Imperium stuff where Rabute Gilliman came back from the dead, or came out of stasis, and is now leading the Imperium. And that's kind of in that time frame, too. But which Blood Angels books are you talking about? Yeah, obviously I'm deep into 40k lore as well. Love the Space Marine with the Chaos factions. Always seems so cool. Well, if you really wanted to, you could delve into the Horus Heresy. So when they actually start falling to chaos, and yeah, you'll learn even then. Or actually, okay, if you want present day chaos or some of that, the Word Bearers trilogy is really, really good, actually. Made me kind of appreciate a little bit more and continue to say, and I will always say to this day, fuck Erebus, which, yeah, I know I don't have mature filters on this, but yeah, F that guy, because, you know, it's Erebus. The whole reason everything else just fell to crap in the Imperial... Well, alright. The present reason everything fell to crap. It was going to eventually, because, let's face it, it was going to. Just touching up a few other areas here. And then, yeah, I usually stream for about an hour, and I see we are about there. Which, again, yeah, I know BallGM subscribed a bunch of you, but if anybody else is new in here, it is September for Twitch. Feel free to give me a subscription if you want. Remembering reading a little bit about the Horus Heresy in the first Space Wolf Omnibus. Yeah, they actually delve into it. They're at like 50 some odd books now. And it's kind of cool hearing some of the stuff and some of the reasoning behind it. And why some of them fell. And how some of the other ones actually reacted. And kind of how, you know, oh hey, we're hearing about legends from 10,000 years ago. Things are bound to get diluted, misconstrued, and whatnot. So it is kind of cool. And yeah, the Emperor actually is in a few of the books too, like as an actual character. And how they handle him, I always think is done really well. Yes, a bit more backstory on Leman Russ, and actually one with how he deals with more of the burning of Prospero, and then when he tries to go and take on Horus before he gets to Terra himself, and almost succeeds at killing him. Which that whole story is really cool. Might hit you up later for some stuff to give you. I don't want to say it on stream, so. But yeah, actually, do you prefer audiobooks or actual physical books? Okay, me too. All right. I may have something for you then. That'll help you. So, but yeah, I see I am at my hour. This is about 8 hours a day at work. Awesome. All right. Well, I may have something for you. Yeah, thanks for swinging by, BallGM. I really appreciate you getting up early to watch my stream and then head off to work. Hope it was a good start to the day for you. It's a good end of the day for me. So, yeah, unless there's any other questions or anything before I take off, um, yeah, I'll wait just a little bit. Oh, well, thanks for the bits, bud. I appreciate it. Yeah, unless there's anything else anybody wants to ask, um, I'll wait just a minute for a reply, and then otherwise I will bid people a good evening. That's who I thought you were. Well, I appreciate it, Duke of Mink. Thought you were Kiko's brother. So, thanks. Yeah, I'll be on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central Time as well, and I will be painting some Star Wars Legion minis. So, but otherwise, yeah, I will call it a night, and I will see you all again the next time. And just remember to keep painting.